Mum who blew £70,000 on cocaine needed to lie to do the hoovering. Jesus, what kind of hoovering was she doing? Jade from Essex was spending £300 on cocaine. Stay-at-home mum Jade Flynn first tried the Class A drug when she was 16 at a house party and began taking it most weekends. That's where it usually starts. While Jade ditched the habit when she started her family, the now 30-year-old ended up back on the drug 5 years ago when she began having issues in her relationship. Out of her addiction, she was spending £300 a week on the drug, explaining she was sniffing cocaine for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I've been off it for about 4 years before deciding to do it again one evening, then went on to a 4-year everyday binge. Drugs were very easy to get hold of, and I was just sniffing cocaine every day. I could get it within minutes. She then continued, I wasn't leaving the house. I just got in such a hole I was neglecting my self-care. I was spending maybe £300 a week on it. I would just wake up and do a line. It got to the point where I could function with it. By the end, I felt like I needed it. It became a necessity. I felt like I couldn't do the housework without it. Couldn't speak to somebody without it. I felt like I needed the energy to hoover the house by snorting lines. Jade ended up dropping to just under 6 stone and developed a bump in her nose due to her nasal cavity and eroding, also known as coke nose. Snorting cocaine can cause a range of nasal problems due to the drug coming into contact with the tissue lining of the nasal passages. UK Addiction Treatment Centres explains, cocaine is a potent vasodisruptor, I don't know how you pronounce that, so I do apologise, meaning it narrows blood vessels. This property contributes to euphoric effects, but it also severely restricts blood flow to the delicate tissues inside the nose. Jade is now speaking out in order to help others, after revealing she spent around £70,000 on cocaine. She said, it massively affected me being a mum. I wasn't acting like a normal mum. I didn't interact with the school mums or do the school run. They couldn't have friends around. I think I used cocaine to mask a lot, most likely so. It just stopped me going to events. I snorted whenever I could. It began taking a toll on my physical appearance, where I couldn't really hide it anymore. If you look at my nose from the side, it has a severe bump where there never was before. I used to have a straight nose. I think part of my nasal cavity has eroded because of all the cocaine use. I got down to just under 6 stone at the height of it. I was a size 4. I wasn't eating or drinking water. Cocaine just stops you from doing anything. People didn't really know what to say. I think I spent around £50,000 and £70,000 on cocaine. I could buy a house by now. Jade is now free from cocaine and is urging others to get help. She said, my life is just 10 times better now. I think I would have died from it eventually if I had carried on. It was ruining my life. Yeah, I think that's pretty much safe to say that she probably would have died from that. Cocaine is more socially accepted. Everyone is doing it. There's not the same stigma as it is with other drugs. I want to open some sort of support group once I'm further on in my recovery journey. I'll tell anyone else to open up to people and get out the house. Fair play to her for coming out and talking about her story. I think anybody who's brave enough to admit, yeah, I had a past addiction, I spent stupid amounts of money on this sort of addiction, and it nearly cost me this and this. Anyone who's willing to talk about that sort of thing, especially when it's to like a complete stranger, I think they're completely brave, and I think, in all honesty, I know we can make jokes and whatnot, but they deserve respect as much as anyone else would matter, if I'm being really honest. And I'm happy to hear now that she's off that drug. I'm happy to hear that she's in a better place right now. She's in her recovery journey. She's trying to make better decisions, not only for herself, but for her kids. And she plans to make some sort of support group to help others get off cocaine or any other sort of drug out there, and to make better choices and better lifestyle choices as well, for that matter. And I hope her recovery journey goes well and she manages to open a support group for other people out there, because there will be a lot of people willing to listen to her story and seek advice from her and be open to, letting other people in, if that makes sense, especially if they're also in the same position as they are. But with that being said, please let me know your feelings down below on what you think of the story. Have you had an addiction in the past? Do you feel like sharing about it? Or do you know someone who has had an addiction in the past? But until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.